Welcome back to Think Thrice Problem Solving. Today we're going to be solving a fun algebra / trigonometry problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So in this problem we have 81 to the cosine squared of x plus 81 to the sine squared of x is equal to 30. Let's go ahead and work toward a solution here. If you'd like to work on it on your own, please pause the video, take a few minutes to see if you can come up with your own solution. There are many ways to solve this. I solved it 3 or 4 ways before I decided on the one I'm going to show today. But let's go ahead and jump right into an answer. So the first thing we notice here is we have cosine squared of x and sine squared of x. So in some way we're probably going to have to manipulate those with trig identities. And that's what I'm going to start off with here today. So if you recall, sine squared of x, we have sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x is equal to 1, which means that sine squared of x is equal to 1 minus cosine squared of x. So let's go ahead and do that substitution. And I'm going to rewrite my expression as 81 raised to the cosine squared of x plus 81 raised 1 minus cosine squared of x is equal to 30. And now I can rewrite this guy, since this is 81 to the 1 minus cosine squared, I can rewrite that as 81 over 81 to the cosine squared. So I'm going to rewrite this expression. Square root of x equals 30. And now I can use a little bit of simplification here. So we notice that we have 81 raised to the cosine squared of x to the left. And we also have 81 raised to the cosine squared of x on the right side. So let's do a quick substitution and make a equal to 81 raised to the cosine squared of x. And now we can rewrite this as a plus 81 over a is equal to 30. So let's multiply by a, our whole equation, and rearrange a little bit. We get a squared minus 30a plus 81 is equal to 0. All right, so now let's use our quadratic formula, see what a is in this case. So a is going to be 30 plus or minus the square root of 900 minus 4ac, so 4 times 81 is 324. That's over 2, which is going to give us 15 plus or minus the square root of 576 over 2. And this guy right here, so 576 happens to be 24 squared. So what we end up getting is that a is 15 plus or minus 24 over 2, so plus or minus 12. So a equals 3 or a equals 27. Okay, so we have 2 possible branches to go down. I'll make them different colors here. So first let's go down to the green branch. So let's make a equal to 3. And remember that's equal to 81 raised to the cosine squared of x. And recall that 81 is equal to 3 to the 4th, which means that 81 raised to the cosine squared of x is 3 to the 4th raised to the cosine squared of x. Okay. So now I have a little bit of a different expression, and we remember over here that this is 3 to the 1. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm equating the exponents. So I have 3 to the 1 equals 3 to the 4 cosine squared of x. Let's make 1 equal to 4 cosine squared of x. So cosine squared of x is equal to 1/4, and cosine of x is equal to positive or negative 1/2. So if we remember for our triangles, so if we have a 60 30, 90 triangle, then cosine is going to be 1/2, and sine is going to be square root of 3 over 2. All right, so, and since it can be positive or negative 1/2, it turns out that if we look at our unit circle here, we could have an angle here, we could have an angle here, we could have an angle here, or we could have an angle here. So we have all of these possibilities to deal with. So we have 4 possibilities there. So what does that mean? So that means that I'm going to have x is equal to pi over 3, which is 60 degrees, 2 pi over 3, which is 120 degrees, or 60 degrees from the negative x-axis. Then I'll have 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay, so all 4 of those will give us the answer that we're looking for. The second case, so now let's look at when a equals 27. And we notice that that is 3 cubed. And once again, that's going to be equal to 3 to the 4 cosine squared of x. So now let's set those exponents equal to each other. So we get 3 equals 4 cosine squared of x. So that cosine squared of x is equal to 3/4. And cosine of x is equal to positive negative square root of 3 over 2. And we can use the same triangle we have above, except now we're looking at the 30-degree side. So we're still going to get 4 answers because we can have positive or negative. But now if we look at it, we're going to get solutions at our 30-degree angles from the x-axis. And all 4 of those angles will give us positive or negative root 3 over 2. So our second set of solutions are going to be x equals pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, or 11 pi over 6. So on an interval from 0 to 2 pi, so from 0 to 360 degrees, so for 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2 pi, those are all of our solutions. And there's going to be 8 of them. All right, thank you very much for working through this problem with me. I enjoyed it a lot. If you do have your own problem, please feel free to submit it, and I'll work through one of your own problems in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And as you're working through your own problems and you start to get stuck, think once, think twice, and then finally, think thrice. Thank you.